What is up, guys? It's me, John Avenger, once again, and here it is. This is my long-awaited rant to this 2015 smash hit, which didn't deserve it, Jurassic World, the 2015 abomination. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I don't care. I wanted to get this over with because I don't want to talk about this film again until the end of the year when I do my worst of the year, which is just going to be like a bottom 5 because I can't do 10 movies. I will not sit through 10 bad movies again this year, like last year. But I was so disappointed with this movie. So disappointed. People say, you know, the box office that this got, it didn't deserve a single penny that it got. The movie is boring. The movie has no likable characters except for Chris Pratt, who I think does a decent job with what's given to him because he doesn't really do much. And the film, you know, has horrible CGI, just worse than any of the sequels. The film has a paper-thin plot with just constant references to the freaking first movie. They don't mention 2. They don't mention 3. They just said, screw those sequels. We're going to forget it. We're going to remind you how much we love the first one. And it was beaten over my freaking head. Constantly. Oh, remember the first movie? Look at a T-shirt that says the first movie. Oh, remember the Jeeps from the first film? We're gonna ride in one. Oh, remember how the gate opened in the original? Let's do that again, but it says Jurassic World and it looks like shit. Yeah, writers, listen. We don't care how much you love the first film. People saw the first film back in 1993. I saw it when it got re-released in 2013, and it was amazing. This movie can suck it compared to this, because you writers think that you have to take old franchises and rape them and just bombard us with references from the original. It doesn't work on me, okay? There's homages, and then there's just freaking overkill, and this was overkill. Everything in this movie is just random and freaking just beaten over your head, and it's padded out and padded out and padded out. And the characters are just flat as tap water. Bryce Dallas Howard, I think she's beautiful. I don't think she's the worst actress in the world, but there's nothing to her character. She's just a bitch and snobby and just unlikable and just stupid and just, I don't know what else to say about her. But, the 2 kids, they're horrible in this. Ty Simpkins and that other Johnson kid, whatever his name is, the older brother. They are the worst kids in this entire franchise. I'll take Tim and Lex in the first film. I'll take the black girl from The Lost World. I'll even take the little kid, the boy that was in the third film, because he did not annoy me as much. Hell, that kid survived on the island by himself without his parents and without Dr. Grant being there, and he was resourceful. These kids are the freaking biggest dumbasses in the world. And the one with the Ty Simpkins character, with the blonde hair, he cries like a bitch in heat. And I'm like, what is the problem here? What is the problem? Well, he's like, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Stop crying. It was worse than freaking like Halloween 5 when what's his face? Danielle Harris had to cry, and Dr. Loomis was like, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Stop crying. It's the same freaking thing, but I think it's worse here because this is a movie that took 14 years to make. 14 years, and this is the best they could come up with. Remember how when there wasn't a Ninja Turtles movie from 1993 to 2007? That was less of a disappointment, because at least TMNT is not a perfect movie, but I'd rather watch it than this again. It was short. The Turtles looked right. The film had the plot is not the best, but it's passable compared to this. It's not beaten over your head with the freaking references of the first film. And, at least that movie wasn't it was a reboot, but it tried something. At least there weren't 4 writers in it. Here, it just makes no sense. It's like, oh, we're going to invite a bunch of people to this new, to the freaking island, and we're going to have them ride dinosaurs like freaking Coney Island or whatever, or Disney World, and we're going to have freaking holograms of dinosaurs from the first film, and we're going to have exhibits where they show the dinosaurs off, exploiting them. It looks freaking stupid. And then we're going to have this creature that we created genetically that's a mix of raptor DNA and freaking a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Mix it together, and they expect nothing bad to happen. And what happens? The creature starts killing people that we don't give a shit about. Okay? Writers, guess what? People getting randomly attacked that we don't care about doesn't matter to me. It has to make some sense. You guys don't have any depth in this film, and not at all. Chris Pratt, he could have been introduced in the first 5 minutes. You didn't have to waste 50, almost 20 minutes of then introducing him doing this. Hold on, Velociraptors, don't do anything. So hold on. What is he? What is he, a freaking magician? No. It's stupid. This is the best you could come up with after over 10 years. I'm so disappointed in you, Universal, for doing this. And Spielberg, go fuck yourself, because you were responsible for this film too, because you freaking produced it. And you did just like Michael Bay did last year with the Ninja Turtles movie. You took an old franchise and you pissed all over it. And you're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put money into a film I'm not directing and make sure that it's shit. And it was shit. Is it the worst sequel I've ever seen? No. Nothing will top Howling 7. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in terms of a sequel to the original. This is just it's a disappointment. This is a film that I thought was going to be all right. Like maybe, oh, it's decent. You know, I could give it an honorable mention. No, this will be in my worst of the year. It is the worst film I've seen all year. You know, there are many films that get crapped on, but they were shorter and they didn't make as much money as this. You know, Jurassic Park 3, that was the last film that came out in 2001, and that film got the critical bash, and they said it was a ripoff of the first film. No, it's not a ripoff of the first film, because it was on a different island, it had a different cast, and had some returning members from the first film, like Dr. Grant and also Laura Dern's character briefly, and the dinosaur, the Spinosaurus, was different from the T-Rex. It looked different, it was more powerful, and, you know, Gates couldn't even stop it. And also, that movie was fun. There's nothing fun about Jurassic World. It's too long. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. It felt like 2.5 hours. It's the same problem I had with Transformers 4. It was freaking long, boring, and it just went on, and it didn't know what plot it wanted to be. It's convoluted. It just beats things over your head from the first film. It's not entertaining to me. It's just... It made so much money that it didn't deserve, and it's going to get a sequel. I know that. I'm not going to see it. I am done with this franchise. 3 is the last movie that I give a shit about. If I ever get the Lego Jurassic World game, it's only because, and I will say this on record, it's only because the first 3 films are in the game. That's it. If it was just that abortion of a film, I would never buy that game on the Wii U or the PS4 or anything, because I don't want to support this. I refuse to support this movie, and I saw this film for free, and not even online. And I don't like this film. I don't know why so many people are giving it the pass. A 70-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 7-point-something on IMDb. Metacritic jerking off saying this is the best sequel of the franchise. Really? It's boring. Nothing happens. The CG is terrible. It opens with an egg hatching like Alien, and it's a CG dinosaur. And that was done better in the first film, when the raptor is slowly coming out of the egg, and Hammond takes the eggshell off, and it comes out. It's a great effect. It still is powerful today. They're stealing the music from the first film. The John Williams score, the magic was missing in this movie. The first film, you know why people still love it? Because it has the magic that we wanted. We got to see CG dinosaurs and practical dinosaurs as well in a movie, mix them together, and it created a classic from the early 90s. And now we have this. This is what our kids... and our future kids are going to be thinking that this is how Jurassic Park is supposed to be. No, this movie sucks. I never want to see it again. I'm never owning this film. I'm not downloading it. I'm not going to get a digital copy of it. I want nothing to do with this movie ever again. Ever. Ever. Okay? I don't even want to give a synopsis. You people have seen the movie already. If you like it, that's fine. I'm not going to bash you. But I don't want to see this again. It sucks. It's one of the worst sequels I've seen in this decade. You know, one of the most disappointing sequels. Not the most disappointing movie of all time, because to me, in recent memory, Sucker Punch is still the winner for that. Because I was looking forward to that, and it let me down. But I'm tired of these kinds of films. Commercial trash is making money these days. Movies last year like Ouija and Annabelle that were shitty horror films made money. What is wrong with the general public today? Do they have any taste whatsoever? I don't know. But I will tell you this. I'd rather see Sharknado, Sharknado 2, and the recent Sharknado 3 that's coming out the 22nd. I don't give a fuck. Okay? You know why I like those films? They're not 2 hours long. They're entertaining to me. Even though the effects aren't great, guess what? It has likable characters. Yeah. Ian Ziering does more in those films than Chris Pratt does in this one. Okay, he has a freaking chainsaw and cuts sharks in half and cuts them open and freaking he's a badass. In Chris Pratt, you know, he's trying, but they don't make him a badass until like the end of the film. Yeah, he has a shotgun, shoots a couple of dinosaurs, and that's about it. The best scene in the movie is at the very end. I'm going to spoil it because I don't care. Never watching this film again, and believe me, you couldn't pay me enough to watch this movie again in the theater or on Blu-ray or DVD. I'm avoiding this. The last scene, you know, one of the before the ending, the Indominus Rex fights against the T-Rex from the original film and a raptor. It gets its ass kicked and it gets sucked down by that Megalosaurus thing that's in the water that you saw in the trailer. That's the only cool scene at the in the movie that really just like, wow, that scene should have been in another movie. If that was in Jurassic Park 3, people would have loved it. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a movie that's a waste of my time. 2 hours and 15 minutes. You know what this movie did wrong and that movie did right? Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, I care about everybody in the movie. Yeah, that movie was long, and it's going to be longer when it's on Blu-ray. But guess what? This film had more depth. It had character moments. It had people we give a shit about. It has a story that flows well. Even though it's overblown, even though there's a lot of characters in the movie, it's setting up for a bigger universe in the future. This is just going to be bullshit, pretentious freaking monster movies that have no depth, no good plot, no good characters, no good freaking special effects. Everything, you know, just sucking out the references from the first film and just throwing it into this one and see, hey, do you remember that? Huh? Do you remember it? Do you remember it? Huh? Do you? Do you freaking remember it? Because I sure do. I have a photographic memory. I remember that movie when I was 8 years old. And I didn't even see it in the theater when I was 8. And this movie's not scary. The first film is still scary. Blast the first 5 minutes of Jurassic Park on your Blu-ray or DVD player. Blast it at full volume. The first scene with the Velociraptor, and tell me that doesn't give you chills. Or the scenes when you first see them chasing, you know, when you see them when you first see the Velociraptor try to attack Laura Dern, when the lights go on and she's smiling, and then the raptor comes out of nowhere. That was scary. In this film, there's nothing scary. That freaking gyro ball thing sucked. It was stupid. It's like they're in a hamster ball, and the Indominus Rex puts its middle finger right into the ball and tries to carry them. That looks so stupid. It really is. It's just annoying. This movie annoyed me. I was sitting there like, oh my god, this movie is freaking stupid. And I'm like, why are they doing this to this franchise? You know what? I just, that's it. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. Screw this movie. I have at least the rest of the summer to enjoy Ant-Man, The Minions, Mission Impossible 5, and possibly other films like maybe Magic Mike XXL or something. But I guarantee you none of those films are going to be worse than this. None of them. And also later this year, I got freaking The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, and I have Star Wars in December. So I am not worried. After this, there's no way that the bar can be raised any lower, because my expectations are going to be to a minimal, and I know I'm going to be entertained at least with something in those films compared to this. At least it doesn't have the writers from Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Fuck those writers, fuck this movie, and I never want to watch it again, and I'm done talking about it. It's me, John Avengers. Once again, I'm sorry that, you know, this came out of randomly. I will continue reviewing Marvel films after this, I promise. I gotta still do the Blade sequels and some of the animated Marvel films. I'd rather talk about that than this any day. So, see you guys later. I hope you enjoy this rant. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep commenting, and yeah, this franchise is dead to me. Dead.